Right away is an amateur motocrosser, claiming 9 national championships from 1990 to 1996. That translated into immediate success in the pro ranks as RC grabbed his first professional title in 1997 with 8 wins. Over the next 2 seasons, Ricky continued to have success by winning a total of 16 races en route to 2 consecutive titles. In 2000, Carmichael graduated to the 250 class and remained the class of that field with 9 wins and his first professional 250 national championship. The following season, RC was once again the man to beat and wrapped up his 2nd straight 250 title early enough to drop down to the buck and a quarter class, earning the record of becoming the winningest 125 rider of all time. Last year, Carmichael switched over to Team Honda and did the unthinkable. On the way to winning his 6th consecutive professional outdoor title, he won every single moto and scored a perfect 600 points. RC's moto and win streak ended this season, but with 13 moto and 8 overall wins to his credit, Carmichael looks to continue one streak that is the most amazing of them all. Starting with title number 1 at the age of 10, Ricky goes for more history with his 4th number 1 plate in the 250 class and 14th consecutive season of claiming a national championship. And welcome to the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships. As we begin round number 11 this week from Delmont, Pennsylvania, it's the Steel City Raceway Scott USA National. And hello once again, everybody. Todd Harris along with the champ, David Bailey. Joining us is Robbie Floyd down in the pit area. There's Kevin Windham trying to track down Ricky Carmichael, but with Carmichael having a full race lead, David, it's going to be very difficult. The track conditions solid this weekend. A lot of moisture has fallen in this part of the country in the last 2 weeks, so the riders should find things quite to their liking. As we take a look at the AMA point standings, there is Ricky Carmichael with that 63-point lead. Right now, let's check in with Robbie Floyd.
Ricky Carmichael can clinch his 10th AMA Pro Racing Championship here at Steel City. His 4th consecutive 250 motocross title. Nobody has ever done that. I talked with Ricky earlier and he says each one of those championships has its own special memories and he's not getting tired of them.
Every championship for me has been different. You know, they all got their high parts and low parts of the season. So that's kind of what's cool. Like, it doesn't get old winning a title just because there's always, you know, somebody new in the game or there's a new challenge. So it would be awesome to win the title today. So, you know, my attitude isn't changing at all.
Yeah, that's what you have to do is keep doing what has been working up to this point. It's been working pretty good. Never lost an outdoor title. That's just incredible to think that ever since he first came outdoors to ride the 125 National Championship, he's won everything.
As we take a look at our Suzuki starting grid, there is Ricky Carmichael on top of the board. And David, what was amazing stat to me was the 14 overall championships. The kid's been racing since he's 10. Experience, talent, Ricky really has it all.
Yeah, there was a little bit of talk going around about how he might stop racing a little earlier than a lot of people thought. And I don't know how true that is, but, you know, it'd be a big shock at the same time. Look how long he's been at it. Here we go again.
Moto number 1 of the 250 class from Steel City Raceway is off and running. Big left-hand sweeper there. There's Carmichael, drops into second. Now he slides into first place just ahead of number 15. That's Timmy Ferry on the Yamaha. So it's Carmichael and Ferry going 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looked like Ferry just kind of gave that to Ricky. That corner is so off camber. He was doing all he could to hang on to the lead. Believe me, he just couldn't get it leaned over in time, and the 4-stroke might be a little tougher to get in and out of all these tight, rutted corners. The dirt is real sticky today.
Ricky Carmichael, your leader, number 4 on board the Honda. In second place, number 15, Tim Ferry on the Yamaha, and Carmichael is looking to close this thing out, David, with emphatic statements of, I am the champ. Kevin Windham had a good run, but this is my title to claim, and he may do it today.
Well, one thing he doesn't have to carry into today is Kevin Windham getting fast lap times on his Saturday practice. There was no practice yesterday because of all the rain. The track's in excellent condition right now. But these guys are spending a little bit less time than normal getting used to everything. And right now it seems to be working in Ricky's favor. He doesn't have any confidence problems. Got the lead, got a little buffer back there in Tim Ferry. Should be no problem for him to wrap up the title today.
Ricky Carmichael out in front looking very smooth as always, David. The way he's riding today, the title looks like it's almost a foregone conclusion. This kid is certainly on a mission.
Yep, and then, you know, the thing is, too, the same thing that happened in McGrath when he doesn't win. People are like, man, what happened? You know? And, you know, there was some talk actually in the middle of the season here where he was getting beat by Wyndham and he was in a bit of a slump. You know, I'd like to have one of those second place slumps. those aren't so bad, I'm thinking. And you know, with Ricky being in the position he's in, winning so much, his expectations are about the same as the people around him. So if he just has a bad moto, he doesn't just have to look within inside of himself to figure out where that motivation is going to come from. Everybody around him's going, come on, get back out there and win like you know how.
Ricky Carmichael, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, all very competitive, all used to winning all the time. And when they don't win all the time, people start to question him. But folks, you cannot question the talent and ability of this young man. Ricky Carmichael, since he was 10 years old, has been winning on a motorcycle. And today looks to be no different as he has a sizable lead now in Moto number 1 in the 250 class from Delmont, Pennsylvania. This is the Steel City Raceway, and your leader is Ricky Carmichael. Let's go back and look at the start one more time, David. This is how it all got going.
Oh, Ricky on the inside. Everything was going good for him. Tim Ferry had to back off a little bit to catch that berm. So everyone's flowing nice. Watch Ezra Lusk in the green. Front wheel starting to tuck. Couldn't save it. I talked about how off camber that corner was. If you're not in that berm, that's what you're running the risk of, going down like that. He didn't get run over too bad. He's up and going, but way back.
It's Carmichael, Ferry, and Roncada. Number 21 in the Suzuki sits in third place. Behind him is the man who has beaten Ricky Carmichael this year at 2 outdoor nationals. That's Kevin Wyndham, but right now he finds himself sitting in 4th place.
And that surprises me a little bit too, because I figure with the dirt start here, the uphill plowed dirt, that 450 would hook up great. All the starts have been dirt so far. Kevin's hole shot that I can think of, and he's struggling now trying to pass.
Let's check in with Robbie Floyd, who's with his mechanic, John Hyland.
Kevin didn't get the best start out there. What are you telling him? Are you trying to get him to push real early, or are you trying to make this the long race and gradually work your way up to Ricky?
Now I'm trying to get him to charge hard right off the box, because that's what Ricky does. He puts in very fast sprint laps right in the beginning and separates himself from everybody else. So we have to, unfortunately, have to match him lap for lap right now.
Well, unfortunately for them, they are behind Ricky Carmichael, so just matching the laps is not going to get the job done. Right now, Kevin Wyndham in a great battle with Stefan Roncada, who sits in 3rd. Wyndham to the outside, back to the inside. Roncada number 21 in the Suzuki. Wyndham number 14 on the Honda, and this is a great battle, David.
Well, you can see how hard Kevin's working to try to get around Roncada, so it's a testament to how well Roncada's riding, but also how tough it is for riders to try to make a pass around here. And, you know, Kevin is... I think he's going to be able to pull away a little bit now, so that whole sequence there we just watched is killing him. But while that was happening, Carmichael was putting seconds on him.
So Ricky Carmichael continues to lead, followed by Timmy Ferry. Kevin Wyndham moves to 3rd, and Stefan Roncada in 4th. We've got a lot more racing still to come from the Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania. There's your running order. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to round number 11, Delmont, Pennsylvania, Steel City Raceway. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd. We are in the midst of 250 Moto number 1. This is the battle for 2nd place. Number 14 is Kevin Wyndham on the left. Timmy Ferry does not want to give up that 2nd place position right now to the Honda. Timmy Ferry, number 15 on the Yamaha, trying to work his way back up, David. It looks like Wyndham may have the line.
Well, Kevin, he's got it going to the inside down at the bottom there, but yeah, that was great. I think he caught Ferry a little bit by surprise the first pass, and Ferry woke up a bit and was like, wait a minute, I want that back. Really made Kevin earn it.
So Wyndham is in 2nd place, Timmy Ferry in 3rd. Both gentlemen are on a 4-stroke, and both gentlemen now chasing Ricky Carmichael, who is your leader.
And you got Chad Reed and Billman back there. They're on 4-strokes. Stiles on a 4-stroke. There's 4-strokes everywhere. Carmichael doesn't need one. Wyndham went up to the outside. He had to, because Ferry was so aggressive over those couple of double jumps at the approach, but Kevin was patient and knew they would put him on the inside down here at the bottom, and that should be able to hold on to that for the pass. Look how big those berms are. You got to be careful you don't drag your foot, your outside foot, across the top of the berm. You get a bunch of mud packing your foot peg. So you lay it over as far as you can and you get right on the toe on the foot peg.
Quick look at Ricky Carmichael, who continues to lead, riding flawlessly. This now is the battle for 7th place as we go back in the pack.
I forgot about LaRocco and Fonseca in there on the 250s. But just about everybody else now choosing the 450, and it's starting to sound like, uh-oh, if Roncada pulls out, that Carmichael may be riding a 450 next year. That might be an injury favoring his left leg.
Meanwhile, Villeman and Reed continue to battle on their Yamahas. Bad news for Team Suzuki as Stefan Roncada, the goggles come off and he pulls off the track, so that's another position lost. Meanwhile, Chad Reed trying to get around teammate David Villeman. Mike Larocco, number 5, number 47 is Clark Stiles.
So that's how you pass a 450 on a 250 up a hill. Come out of the corner hot. He had that planned out. Now he's got a teammate Fonseca just up ahead. Villeman and Reed closing in. So the battle back there behind Carmichael is great, but geez.
Look at Villeman getting very aggressive, trying to get around Clark Stiles, and I think he caught Stiles a little bit off guard.
And Clark ran right over to the edge of the racetrack and just took away all the opportunity to pass from Villeman. Still trying to hold Chad off. These guys are riding hard. They're moving up. They got a fast pace right now.
David Villeman currently sits in 7th place, trying to get some sleep in between nationals, the birth of his newborn daughter. And look at that line. Comes right in front of Clark Stiles and shuts him down.
Yeah, he got a little off balance in the middle there, and you can see him like real aggressive with his body, going, wait a minute, gotta fix it, gotta fix it. He was trying to head him off at the pass there, and it worked. Now he's got Stiles, hopefully, to hold up Chad Reed a little bit so he can breathe a little. Before that, Chad was all over David.
Here comes Chad Reed on the inside, number 22 on the Yamaha, who made the switch to the 4-stroke, and it seems to be paying dividends for him now as he closes back in on David Villeman. Clark Stiles, unfortunately, gets shuffled back 2 positions.
Well, the more times Clark starts up front and gets passed like this, the more comfortable he'll get with it, the more he'll know what to expect. And pretty soon it'll take these guys a little longer, and then maybe he'll eventually just stay up there. But, you know, it's a little intimidating at first when you have those guys pass you and check out the way they do.
We've got a battle for first, something we haven't been able to say in a long time. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, now being closed in on number 14. Kevin Windham, who easily could be his nemesis of the year. Ricky talked about at the top of the show with Robbie Floyd about every season has its ups and downs. Well, the downs this year have been by courtesy of Kevin Windham, who took 2 outdoor overall nationals away from Carmichael, and Windham has been on fire. Not the best of starts, but he's now worked himself up to 2nd place and has really put the pressure on Carmichael.
Yeah, the start killed him. I knew he would be fast here on this racetrack. The last time he raced here, he won both motos. Look at this, look to the inside.
Unbelievable racing. The folks here getting the best. Look at the inside pass by Carmichael. Squares it off and dives back on the inside. Windham has something for him to answer with.
Windham landed so hard back there off that double. You could hear him sound like he bottomed out. He's fighting for this. Crowd is loving what they're hearing. Listen to this impact from Kevin. Damn. He landed hard. There's no way he could stop. Good heads-up move by Carmichael, knowing that Kevin was coming in there a bit hot. He pushed him into that. Cut back to the inside. Still racing each other, and this is what everyone wanted to see. It didn't look like it was going to happen in the beginning. Ricky was checking out, but Kevin is very comfortable on this type of racetrack.
So it's Carmichael and Windham going head-to-head as we come down to the final laps here at Steel Cities, and Carmichael not sure where Windham came from. It was out of the blue. He passed Timmy Ferry and then just showed up on Carmichael's back doorstep. Ricky now starting to put a little distance between himself and Windham, but Kevin will not go away.
You know, looking at the aggressiveness, how can you look at Ricky and go, well, he's just not aggressive enough? He's always aggressive enough. The difference is in their line. Ricky's lines are a little bit more cut and hack, and everything that Kevin's doing is flowing really nice, and the momentum is better.
The board said game time, and that is directed towards Windham as he comes in hot on Carmichael. Your leader, number 4, number 14, Windham in pursuit. This is a great battle. 2 of the best in the business going head-to-head, David, as they come down. One more time, Windham tries that inside line.
Wow, I thought he was going to get it done. It worked so good on Tim Ferry, not on Carmichael. That's the difference, folks. Ricky will not let you have it. You've got to knock him out of the way. You've got to be so much better to get a pass done. That just doesn't happen very often. Look at this. That was real lucky.
Chad Reed coming in very hot on Ernesto Fonseca. Fonseca at that point just said, take it.
Well, he was so lucky they didn't high side right there and crash or run into Fonseca a little harder. I think they just miscalculated that one. It threw off Fonseca's timing a little bit. Now he's got Larocco even closer.
Mike Larocco trying to get around Ernesto Fonseca, and Fonseca number 24 on the Honda, Larocco number 5 on the Honda as well, and he gets the job done. So the Honda's on the move now as Larocco tries to track down Chad Reed. But your leader, number 4, Ricky Carmichael, maintains a lead over Kevin Windham. Stay with us when we return to Delmont, Pennsylvania the exciting conclusion. Since 1947, countries have sent the best of the best to compete in what is considered the most prestigious event on the MX calendar, the Motocross of Nations. The United States stamped its seal on the Olympics of motocross starting in 1981, and 15 wins later, that tradition continues. This year's team of Ricky Carmichael, Tim Ferry, and Ryan Hughes will carry that mantle to Belgium.
I'm excited. I've always wanted to do it, since watching it as a kid, watching all the Americans go over there and win, and that's what I plan on doing this year. So it should be fun. We got a good team. Ricky's been before. Actually, I think Hughes has been before too. So should be a good race.
I think, the #1 team is probably going to be back, and we the last time we were there, we won, and the last year, 2 years, I think we weren't there, whatever it was, and now we get a chance to go back and show that we are #1 team, and I got some really good teammates, Carmichael and Ferry, so even if I falter a little bit, I can rely on those guys.
We're only going over there for one moto. It's a long ways to go from one moto and a couple practice sessions, but it's something we have to do, and I think you're going to see USA on top.
Some of the great perks of winning this event include trips to the White House. However, such rewards would not be possible without the help of the motocross community.
AMA Pro Racing will be putting together some advertising that promotes Team USA going over and competing in the Nations. And it's designed really to show the support that Ricky Carmichael, Timmy Ferry, and Ryan Hughes get from their respective employers, which is, of course, is Honda, Yamaha, and KTM, in addition to a number of other motorcycle industry companies that typically lend a lot of support, whether technical or rider support.
The Dis Nations is so different from any other race because there's really no money at stake for the rider. You do it all because you're going over there to prove that U.S. is the best motocross country in the world. And I was lucky enough to be on that team 5 years in a row, and that race makes you more nervous than any other.
Back at the Steel City Raceway, we're looking at Timmy Ferry, currently sitting in third. Kevin Windham was invited, but he told us why he turned it down.
It's kind of a bittersweet deal to pass it up. Such a good race, and you got the prestige and the just doing it for taking one for the country and going over there and trying to kick butt. But at the second time, I kind of feel this huge family man thing coming on, with the timing and everything, and still trying to get things done for next year, which is not finalized even yet. So a lot of things in my near future kind of up in the air. So it just kind of seemed best to decline that.
I can understand where he's coming from. I mean, it's better to have a little bit of Kevin than none, and he's finally back just for the outdoor season. It looks like he's still trying to work things out to ride Supercross and Nationals next year. And if that was all handled and his baby daughter wasn't brand new and the family thing was new to him, I believe he'd be going over there and treat that as a great honor.
Well, that interview took place back at Millville, but Ricky Carmichael will do a very capable job in leading that team over to Belgium. Wishing them the best of luck. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael having no problem here at Steel City Raceway. Kevin Windham closed in on him a few laps ago, and Carmichael got the wake-up call and has quickly distanced himself. So Ricky Carmichael looking to pick up another set of checkers right now, looking very good, very smooth. He has not been passed but one time momentarily by Kevin Windham, and that was a very quick loss of the lead.
Yeah, Ricky is so fast to get back in there and take it right back from you. Something he worked hard for. Kevin was catching him, made the pass, figured, okay, this is all going good, and Ricky would get you back and just ruin your whole idea of what you were doing, and seemed to wake him up. Now he's going faster, and Kevin's backed off some, so the lead has really grown to something a lot bigger than it should.
Chad Reed sits in fourth place, trying to track down third place, which is inhabited by his teammate, number 15, Timmy Ferry, both men on the Yamaha 4-stroke at this point. But it is Ricky Carmichael who takes a glance to his left to find out where the competition is, and like this year, other than Kevin Windham's 2 big victories, there really has been no competition for Ricky Carmichael.
And once again, he gets to just rubberneck the last lap, look around, and I don't know that he's looking for any particular rider, really. He's just enjoying the scene. He's winning again. He's getting closer to winning this championship. Look at him. He's like, okay, who's next on the list to pass? That lapper. Oh, I know that guy. He'll get out of the way. He's putting a little bit of style into these jumps. He is having an absolute blast going, yes, another title.
So Ricky Carmichael is your leader. Windham in second, Ferry third, Reed, and then Mike LaRocco round out the top 5. This is the white flag lap. Moto number 1 as Carmichael whips it Comes down a nice hard landing, but the fans there don't seem to mind. They just love the style that is Ricky Carmichael. This young man from Florida has put on quite a display this year, David. He got a fast start, had a few bobbles midway through the season, but he is finishing up strong.
You know, I love watching him ride when he's not at the full-on crazy pace, because at that pace, you just watch him and it looks just radical and scary and fast, you know. But when he slows down a little bit and puts a little bit more style into it, you see how good he is. You see how he can hop over braking bumps and still seat bounce things and look around and do all this stuff with the greatest of ease. And that's something you don't see from him that much. When he's on the gas, it's just kind of a blur, and it's so intense, it doesn't really look like that much fun. But watching him ride around right now, it makes me just want to get a bike and go out there.
Ricky Carmichael coming through one more time to the delight of the fans here at Steel City Raceway. Carmichael has loved this track, and they certainly love him today because he has been the man. Carmichael will pick up the victory here in moto number 1 of the 250 class. And folks, it's getting very close to championship time as Carmichael has looked very good. Kevin Windham, we cannot discount the job that he has done. He was absolutely fabulous, but the day belongs to Carmichael, at least in moto number 1. When we return to Delmont, Pennsylvania, we'll talk with our winner. Welcome back to Delmont, Pennsylvania. Scott USA National. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd. Ricky Carmichael towels off after a job well done as he picks up the victory in moto number 1 in the 250 class. As we take a look at our Honda official results, it's Ricky Carmichael, Kevin Windham, Tim Ferry, Chad Reed, and Mike LaRocco rounding out the top 5. Ezra Lusk, who crashed on the start, finished in 9th place. Congratulations to him and the rest of the crew. Paul Carpenter finishes up in 14th place. And much credit goes out to the track crew. They canceled everything on Saturday to allow the track to absorb all the water that's been coming down the last few days. The track has certainly held up well. Right now, let's check in with Robbie Floyd, who's on the podium.
Congratulations, Ricky Carmichael. Got that moto win. And I was talking to Goose. I said, that's a chess match you didn't want to be in, but it's kind of hard telling a champion to back it off a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, Kevin was outright faster than me. He caught me from a ways back. He must have been 10 seconds behind me, and he reeled me in. So I was going to let him pass me, and then it seemed like he slowed down. So he'll be ready for the next moto.
All right,
more the next moto.
I got a question about that Supercross session. You looked over at it. Was it one of those, come on, guys, let's do this?
No, just having fun, you know. It's just like, you know, let's race and have a good time. And I think he was saving it for the next moto because last week he won the first moto and I won the second. And I think he's looking for that overall. So I'll have to find some speed for the second moto.
Congratulations to Ricky Carmichael as he picks up the victory here in moto number 1. As we mentioned, the track was shut down Saturday so the water could absorb, and they've done a great job of keeping it in such great conditions. So Ricky Carmichael one step closer to wrapping up the outdoor national title. Kevin Windham will certainly have something for him in the second moto, and moments ago he caught up with Robbie Floyd.
All right, KW, you made up all that time. Ricky was expecting you to put on the hard battle, and you did that, but where did you lose it a little bit towards the end?
Well, I got caught up with a lapper and made 1 or 2 mistakes, you know, all on me, and that's the thing that I'm kind of upset with is that I let that take the wind out of my sails, you know, and Ricky was able to open it up in that time, and yeah, it was just like I was fighting it after that, you know, and I wish I could stay a little bit more mental focused and not let stuff like that bother me and get out of my groove, and that's exactly what happened that moto.
All right, Timmy, you got the start you wanted. You were up front. What happened? How did you drop back?
You know, I got the start that I wanted for sure. I've been working on those and coming around, and those guys were just going really fast. Kevin especially was going faster than me and Ricky, and I just couldn't quite keep up, so I just had to keep it a steady pace that I could handle, and third was the best I could do.
You had them in your sights. Where were they gaining time?
I think going to the corners, I need to go back and make some adjustments. We didn't have a practice on Saturday, so we're trying to jump in here and make all the adjustments in 2 practice. Makes it kind of tough.
So Tim Ferry gets ready for moto number 2, as does his teammate David Villeman. Villeman with a strong performance in moto 1. He will look to improve upon that. Right now it's time for this week's edition of the Racer X Pit Pass. When we return to the Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania, it's time for the Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap after this. It's now time for our Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap with the champ, David Bailey.
Well, let's do the talking part. The fun part gets to be done by Andrew Short. Now, we already saw a moto, and we see how good the track looks. This is what it looked like this morning as we sent Andrew Short out there on the racetrack to give us a good look at it. Right off the start, first of all, you got dirt. There's no cement. Got a lot of off-cambers, and then you get right into the double uphill section. Nothing really special you can do here. It's not like you can triple anything. You're forced to double-double, but through this right-hand corner, there'll be a lot of ruts all the way wide. That sets you up in this downhill corner. As you can see, it's important to pick your line. Obviously, it's not that easy. A rider already down. The rider to our right drifted wide, so it's important to get to that corner strong because you got a long uphill following. And you get all the drive you get out of the corner can give you a lot of speed up here, which can get you over these doubles, which Andrew isn't jumping. So, Andrew, I know that you're taking over for Cameron. Doesn't mean you got to roll all this stuff. Really tricky corner right here. It's hard to get stopped for, off camber, and see a lot of different lines that sets you up to this approach. This is a long left-hand sweeper over one jump and leading you into a really fun double jump. A lot of great photographs have been taken over that double jump over the years. Pastrana heel clicking his way to a title. And of course, last year, Steve Brune picking up a nice shot of Carmichael whipped off that jump. And after that, you get into a lot more off-camber stuff. In and out of a lot of tricky sections where picking your line is a really important deal. It sets you up great for 2 or 3 corners ahead. If you don't get through the corner before this section, it can mess you up all the way down the straightaway. A lot of plateaus. You can either jump over, clear and perfect, land on the backside, or jump all the way across and land up on the top. A little different way of getting into the approach of that, depending on the run you get out of the corner. Then a slick corner right here that leads you into a long plateau. If you don't get a good drive out of that corner, there's no way you can clear that thing all the way. You fly over that double pretty much no problem. You're already on the brakes. Real off-camber corner right here that shoots you up into right into the crowd section. Basically, you can really hear them when you go through there. Then you get more off-camber as you approach the finish line. One line now, but that rut will get so tricky. There'll be plenty more before the racing starts. And then across the finish line right there, Andrew making a nice square-off move to pick up the position. And back to the starting line with Chad Reed and Fonseca. Get things dialed in.
Good to see Stefan Roncada, number 21, back on board. He dropped out of the first race. And the rest of the crews. We take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. Carmichael, Wyndham, Ferry, Reed, LaRocco. That's how they finished in Moto number 1, and that's how they'll line up for Moto number 2. And the rest of the field. We'll have to keep our eye on Ricky Carmichael, David, because he needs 9th or better, and the title is wrapped up. So Carmichael certainly will want to get a great start and not have to worry about getting up in that 9th place finish.
So Carmichael here knows how important the start's going to be. He's going to need to get one. Wyndham has put together 6 moto wins. A lot of those have come with hole shots.
And we are off and racing. Moto number 2 from Steel City Raceway. Already riders down on the ground, and out of the pack comes number 14, the big 4-stroke, doing its job. Kevin Wyndham is your leader. Right behind him, number 4, is Ricky Carmichael, settling to 2nd place.
Well, now you got a couple of guys, the best out there, working on a couple of problems. You got Ricky going, I need more speed. You got Kevin going, how can I not let the little things bug me? Well, you got a big thing bugging you right now. Carmichael got 2nd off the start. Kevin's probably, it's nice to be able to beat the guy when it's a tough fight like this, but at the same time, be nice just once in a while to get the whole shot and have Ricky be about 10. You know, it doesn't seem to happen though. Ricky's always there, applying pressure.
And that's why he is so close to wrapping up yet another national title. Carmichael sits in 2nd place. Will he be content to stay there, or will the fighter and Ricky Carmichael come out and say, you know what, might as well finish up on the top spot on the podium when they give me that number 1 plate? That's what's in hand right now. Ricky Carmichael, he finishes in the top 9. The outdoor national title is his. Meanwhile, Kevin Wyndham looking for his 7th moto win here in the outdoor circuit.
Looking good so far. Just flows right into that berm, gets back on the power. Already opened up just enough of a gap over Ricky that, you know, it leads you to believe that this is not going to be that easy for Carmichael. If he was all over him at this point, it'd be like, okay, well, you can see what's going to happen. But Ricky's having to ride hard right here just to stay inside of him. One good part about being this far back initially is you're not getting roosted. But if they start getting away from you more than that, then you got a problem.
Kyle Lewis on board the Honda has gone down. Looks like he's okay. He's going to kick the bike back over and get running. Look at this. Carmichael starting to reel in Kevin Wyndham as they come through this very tricky section. The two Hondas, one a 4-stroke, one a 2-stroke. And right now, Ricky Carmichael looks like he is really on the gas trying to close it in. Let's look at the start one more time, David.
Wyndham getting down around the outside, going into that second corner. Ricky across the top. Just splitting Ezra Lusk right there. Ezra going, man, that's the last time I'm wearing yellow. Wyndham to the outside, Carmichael to the inside. A Honda sandwich right there. Ezra just not fast enough to that off-camera corner, obviously. Gets past, goes from first to third. And where is he right now? I mean, that's how fast these guys are going. Ezra knows how to ride, but not at that pace, apparently.
Ezra Lusk currently checking in 4th place. The Kawasaki rider just behind number 15, Tim Ferry, who sits in 3rd. Your leader, Kevin Wyndham, and Ricky Carmichael right now sitting in 2nd. Here's Chad Reed, number 22, on board his new ride, that 4-stroke, having a battle once again with Clark Stiles.
And he'll win that battle. He's got the inside right there. Even clears a little room for his teammate Villeman, who bumps. And he gets the job done, moves up as well. Yamaha's everywhere. Nick Way coming next. Looks like he's going to get the pass made as well. So Stiles, I talked about in the first moto. You know, the more you get good starts to run up front, the more you learn the pace. And he's still struggling a little bit with the pace, but he'll get there eventually. This is Chad pulling a tear off and making the pass. See, Stiles hesitated a little bit right there, going, okay, well, I got to let Chad have that berm, or he's just going to take it from me. And then Villeman took it as well. So he's learning fast, learning the hard way, but there's no other way.
This is Kevin Wyndham, who currently sits in 1st place, has 2 overall victories this season, would like to make it 3 in the all-important second moto here, Steel City Raceway, Delmont, Pennsylvania. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd. And what a day it will be if Ricky Carmichael wraps up yet another title. But right now, look at the gap that Kevin Wyndham has. It is getting huge. And maybe Ricky Carmichael's saying, you know what, 8 seconds, 2nd place is just fine, but I highly doubt that. We'll be back with more of second moto in the 250 class right after this short break. Wyndham is your leader. Ricky Carmichael entered last year's 250 finale with a shot at motocross immortality. RC had already clinched the championship and entered the 23rd moto with an unblemished win record. John Dowd grabbed the Moto 1 hole shot, but as was the script for all of the 2002 season, Carmichael passed and easily won. 23 down, 1 to go. RC quickly went to the front, but in order for Ricky to make history, one of his only challengers last season, Timmy Ferry, would make him earn every inch of the last 30 minutes plus 2 laps. When the final few turns came to be realized, it was the number 4 Honda in front. In all, Ricky Carmichael led 352 laps out of a possible 365 en route to becoming the only rider in AMA history to finish with the perfect season. 24 motos, 24 wins.
Just incredible what Ricky was able to accomplish last year. And it's not so much that he was so fast and he was able to win all those races. It's just that all those races went well. He didn't have a first turn pileup. He didn't have any concerns, you know, with a flat tire or anything like that. And you can see that Stewart in the 125 class, it's very possible could have won every moto this year, but he got hurt and he couldn't ride them all. And, you know, this year you can see that Ricky's been challenged by Wyndham and Ferry beat him in a moto. It's not easy to get through 24 motos without a problem, even by yourself. Even though Ricky looks like he's going to win the championship this year, I don't think he can be disappointed by not matching what he did last year, because that was just not a fluke, but just freaky that he was able to get all the way through the season without any kind of an issue.
Ricky Carmichael certainly had a lot of luck on his side, a lot of talent, a lot of good people behind him. Look at this great battle. Here's Heath Voss getting some heat on the outside right now from number 22. That's Chad Reed. There are Yamahas all over the track. Right behind Reed. Oh, and Reed goes down.
Well, that kind of started, I think, back when he landed on. Gets going really fast. All you guys, amateur riders, pay attention to how fast these pros get up, man. First of all, they don't look good when they land on the ground. But they get up fast, and what I think started that was Chad cased that double pretty hard. I think he was still going, all right, now, okay, what's Voss going to do? Oh, his front wheel was just 2 inches too high in that berm. Once soon as he got on the gas, it was pushed right out. Villeman could see that whole thing coming and steered clear of it.
Chad Reed did a great job holding in the clutch. The bike not stall, and as David pointed out, up and running quick once again. Well, here comes Ricky Carmichael. He has started the charge 8 seconds behind Kevin Wyndham. He was just laps ago, and he's starting to close back in. Now will Ricky realize the championship on top of the podium as the victor, or will he relinquish it to Kevin Wyndham? And look at Wyndham ride.
It's flawless. This is one of those Kevin Wyndham flawless days, and Ricky has reeled him back in, so tables have turned from the first moto. I didn't think Ricky was going to find that extra motivation, but then again, what the heck was I thinking? He always finds that extra motivation.
The battle for 7th on the right, number 24, that's Ernesto Fonseca trying to get around Heath Voss. Squares it off, comes in, but in the meantime, look at that. He opens the door for a teammate on another Honda. That's Mike LaRocco who gets past Voss as well. So Voss seeing red literally on the track. Kevin Windham coming in. His lead, though, has now shrunk down to just over 3 seconds. So Carmichael shaving almost 5 seconds off of Kevin Windham's lead in the last few laps.
Listen to him on the power. Man, he is trying so hard. Just, you know, it's not that his speed is going to catch him up to Kevin. All he's got to do is get close, and the crowd and the nerves and the possibility of losing the lead, all that stuff's going to play on Kevin's mind like it did in the first moto. I don't think he's completely immune to that right now in this moto, just because it's another moto. That still happens, so that, you know, all he's got to do is get close, and then the rest of it's just going to happen all by itself, and then he'll be in the driver's seat. There's nothing really to lose, everything to gain.
We talked about at the top of this moto, Ricky just needed to finish in the top 9, so folks watching at home might say, why is this kid going breakneck speed, high risk, high reward? Ricky doesn't like to lose, folks, and I know last year in the Supercross Series it kind of left a bad taste in his mouth, David, in Las Vegas. He got 2nd place, but he got the title, and I think he didn't feel good about that. I think right now what he's trying to say is, you know what, I'm not going to get the title, the number 1 plate, finishing 2nd here and not getting the overall.
This is what happened a few laps ago. Kevin over jumping that plateau a little bit, coming down. Lucky he didn't crash. Now you can understand why Ricky made up so much time. And ever since, it's just been a little bit more nerve-wracking for Kevin. He's been unable to ride the way he was riding when he had that big lead. I talked about Ricky. All he's going to do is get pretty close, and the rest of it take care of itself. That's happened now.
Ricky Carmichael picking his way through the ruts, and look at that move. Just a little bit more on the power band, and he just pops right into first place. So Carmichael goes into first, and now Windham will be the chaser.
This is the thing where, yeah, Windham is impressive. He's been able to win and beat Ricky, and my hat's off to him. But in order to really beat Ricky enough and beat, you know, be the champion and beat Stewart, he's going to have to win battles like this. He had this race. It looked like it was over, and Ricky just decided he wanted it. And Ricky's want is a little bit better than everybody else's want.
And Kevin Windham talked to Robbie Floyd about getting mental focus and having more focus in critical situations, and you can see what 1 or 2 lapses will do. Ricky Carmichael is certainly on the gas. This kid will not let it go. He has got the title all but wrapped up, finishes this race in this position, in the top 9 positions, and the race and the title will be his. Ricky Carmichael putting on a show for the folks here in Delmont, Pennsylvania. This is round number 11. Carmichael, Windham, 1 and 2. We'll be back for the conclusion of the 250 Moto number 2 after this short break. In this his 12th and final season in his capacity as race manager, Duke Finch and his wife Sonny will leave behind an extended family numbering in the hundreds.
I jokingly call them my boys. We chose, that's the hard part. We chose not to have children, and I got 800 of them now. I consider myself a motocrosser. I've been motocross racing myself for 31 years. I never was a supercrosser, and, you know, and I consider myself a motocrosser. So that's, to me, that's the real race.
Well, he is a motocrosser, and, you know, he's been around this sport for so long, and it's going to be weird to not have him there in, next season. And, you know, people get hard on him at times and question his decisions. I've been hard on him a couple of times this year, the way he officiated a few things. But you know what? All in all, that's a really tough job, and he does a pretty good job of it. And all these riders do respect him quite a bit.
No question about
what he's been able to do for everyone over the years.
And our thanks to Duke Finch. He will be missed. Meanwhile, back on the racetrack, it is Ricky Carmichael, who moments ago put the pass on Kevin Windham, who had the lead. And Carmichael, since then, David, has been on a tear.
You know, any track that's got a lot of these ruts in it, he just seems to flow through that stuff a little bit better than everybody else. You know, I mean, his foot size is, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's about a 9 or a 10, and Kevin's is probably a 12. That's a lot of foot getting in the way every time you go into a rut like that, worried about yanking, you know, your toe off the peg and twisting your knee or an ankle. He just seems to float in and out of that stuff really well. But what I was really impressed with was the aggressiveness that he took to Kevin about midway through that race. Of course, we knew you were going to get one of those before it was all over with, so we hope. Man, what a way to go out, though. Win both motos, even though he didn't have to, he still did it anyway, and Kevin made him earn it.
So Ricky Carmichael is on his way to picking up yet another win, another overall, and another national title. He didn't have the perfect season that he had last year, David, but this one maybe was more impressive. He had more obstacles, more things to overcome, and he did it.
Well, that was some of the criticism last year was, yeah, he won all the motos, but, you know, not to take anything away from the guys that I'm going to mention here, but guys like Ferry not having the best season, Lust just being comfortable with getting through a season without an injury, Kyle Lewis and Larry Ward, LaRocco injured. I mean, that was his competition. This year, the competition was there. Everyone was there. Everyone had their game, and he just shut them down.
So Ricky Carmichael basically takes a parade lap here to the delight of the fans here at Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania. Carmichael has been phenomenal throughout his entire career, as he mentioned, racing since the age of 10. And what he's accomplished in the last 14 plus years has been absolutely amazing. He has rewritten the record books. And something we thought after Jeremy McGrath came through would never be done, but Ricky Carmichael has done it, and done it with a lot of class, and like you say, a lot of style. The 2003 250 Motocross champion, Ricky Carmichael.
There's Scott Taylor wearing that #1 Fox jersey, patting him on the shoulder. He'll get to throw that on because he's the new champ. What a feeling. I've won a few of these things, and it doesn't get any better. That's what you work on. That's so hard for. That's why you run as hard as you do and ride all those days, and you don't really feel like riding. It pays off in the end.
So the Honda official results tell us what we saw on the track all year long. Your winner, Moto #2, Ricky Carmichael. Kevin Windham will have to settle for second place, but our thanks to Kevin Windham for making this tour such an exciting one. Right now, let's check in with Robbie Floyd.
Kevin, I can see the look on your face. I know you wanted the win out there. Everything was looking good, but what happened?
Well, I mean, he just he wanted to win bad today. You know, he was got the #1 plate today, and no one wants to do that by losing. You know, and, did all I can to keep him behind me. It just wasn't working for me today. You know, I was fighting a little bit the deep ruts, but you know, you just got to ride 100% to beat him. You know, but I was still able to hold him second. Been a good ride for Factory Connection Honda. No fear, lead numbers.
Well, our congratulations to Kevin Windham on making it such a great series. Meanwhile, Ricky Carmichael takes a tour of Steel City Raceway and thanks the fans for their support. What a great race it was, and what a great year for Ricky Carmichael as his wife Ursula makes her way up to the podium. You know, it's her birthday on Monday, the 1st of September, and not a bad birthday gift from her husband, Ricky Carmichael. Maybe one of the greatest of all time as we take a look at the Honda official results. It's Carmichael getting the overall by virtue of the 1-1, then Windham and Ferry round out your podium. But a great day of racing here at Steel City Raceway. Right now, let's go back down to the podium where Robbie Floyd is standing by.
All right, Timmy, I'm not good at math, but 3 and 3 equals 3 overall. Congratulations.
Thanks, yeah. All in all, it was a pretty good day. We're third, can't complain with that. I want to run those guys' pace and beat them, but right now, for some reason, I come up a little bit short.
So Timmy Ferry comes up just a little bit short, but a great run for him. There are the overall point standings. Carmichael, Windham, and Reed. Timmy Ferry in 4th, Michael Rocco in 5th. David Villeman rounds out your top 6. Let's join Duke Finch for the presentation.
Okay, we're trying to get them all. Ricky, congratulations on defending your title. May not have been a perfect season, but with one to go, you got her sewed up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Duke. We're going to miss you next year, but I'm sure you'll be having a lot funner time, you know, starting your new career, and thanks for everything. Thank you to the AMA and all my fans. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Well, I want to congratulate Ricky, man. What a job. So many championships, and he's still going, you know. There's a lot of comparisons with him and Stewart and all that stuff, but until Stewart beats him and owns him, Ricky's still the man.
There you see Ricky's resume, and the records just keep piling up. Let's join Robbie Floyd, who's with the champ.
Well, congratulations to Ricky Carmichael. Another year, another win. That is 10 AMA Pro Racing Championships, 4 250 motocross titles in a row. Nobody has ever done it. You got to be stoked, bud. How's the old teeth?
I'm so happy. It was a tough season. Kevin was riding really, really good. We've been dominating the series, and that 450 his is running good. But I tell you, Honda stepped it up halfway through the season and got me a 2-stroke. That is unbelievable, man. The thing is running really, really good, and it's a combination of everything. You know, know, my mechanic, Honda, Dunlop, Fox, Oakley, everyone who helps me, all my people, and I could go, the list goes on, and everybody knows who they are that has helped me, and without those people, it wouldn't be possible.
You say this doesn't get old. How do you keep pushing yourself? I mean, you won a championship every year you've been a pro.
Yeah, I have, and I never expected to do this good, and you know, I just love what I do. I take it very, very seriously, but I definitely live it up at home. I enjoy my life. I enjoy this, you know, and I try to give it 100% and do the best I can, and that's how I stay motivated, to just keep winning, and the critics saying I can't do this and this guy's going to do that, and I just work my butt off and try to be a gracious champion and do my best.
Congratulations, another year, another championship. Par for the course, Ricky Carmichael. 125s, 250s, outdoor motocross. He has never been beaten in a series.
And our thanks to Robbie Floyd filling in for Cameron Steele. And as we've heard, the Troy event has been canceled. So, David, the season is over. Your final thoughts?
Well, congratulations to Carmichael once again. He's bad, deserves everything he gets. He works the hardest and wins the most, and it was great to have Kevin Windham back. He's for real. I can't wait to see him race next year. I think he's as good or better in Supercross. And to all the privateers, you know, Nick Way and Larry Ward, Stiles, and John Dowd, all those guys doing a great job again.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So long from Pennsylvania.